Over here is the 5th generation Land Rover Discovery, and we call it the Land Rover Discovery 5. The Land Rover Discovery was one of the hottest seller here in the EU market and globally. The Land Rover Discovery was one of the most popular competitor when it came to the off-road community, something that picked a fight with the likes of the Mitsubishi Pajero and the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. The Land Rover Discovery had its own identity. In fact, there was a time it was even rivaling against the likes of the Audi Q7 and the BMW X5. It was one of the most famous competitor in the large SUV segment, and especially when it came to family cars. And this was a very big deal during the 2000s and the 2010s. Now, the part about the Land Rover Discovery I think everybody was a fan of was the boxy image. Now, the Land Rover Discovery 5 may have been a better seller than the Land Rover Discovery 4 if we're talking about global statistics. But then, if we're talking about popularity, discussions online, discussions across the internet, the Land Rover Discovery 4 took the trophy. It was one of the most popular Land Rover models ever built by Jaguar Land Rover. But the Land Rover Discovery 5 had the opposite effect. It just didn't see much enthusiasm compared to the other Land Rover models and its previous Discovery generations. The 5th generation Land Rover Discovery saw a complete revolution. Land Rover altogether abandoned that squarish design, and I think they saved it for the Land Rover Defender. On the bright side, the Land Rover Defender is back again. But on the negative side, the Land Rover Discovery is a completely different vehicle. It's not dead, but the spirit has changed. Now, as we look at the front design of the Land Rover Discovery 5, we see that their identity of the classic Land Rover Discoveries is completely diluted. It's completely gone. In fact, it seems like for the design of the Discovery, Land Rover went down the route of the Range Rover models, like the Range Rover Evoque, the Range Rover Velar at that time, and now also the Range Rover Sport. Now, as we approach the rear of the Land Rover Discovery 5, we see somewhat a preservation of the Land Rover Discovery identity. There is a design, a signature design they always had, a prominent C pillar. This was also something we spotted on the Land Rover Freelander back in the days. But except for this Land Rover Discovery 5, they have it diagonal this time. It's not straight like it used to be for the Land Rover Discovery 4. Just the only difference is that it's not got straight lines everywhere. It's just more round-edged compared to its previous generations. Here we see the signature design of the Land Rover Discovery. But make no mistakes, there is a very big difference compared to the previous generations. The first primary difference being that this is not split rear doors, everyone. This is a one door, it's a single door itself. Now it is time to check out the interior of the Land Rover Discovery 5. Okay, so this is the part where we see a complete revolution. It's very different to what I've seen of the previous generation. In fact, that was basically the point of the Discovery 5, to be completely different from the previous generation. And this did indeed raise a lot of questions, everyone. This is one of the reasons why the Discovery is not the same thing anymore as it used to be. This design right here is a bit of a reference to what I've seen in Jaguar models, but that doesn't surprise me. Now, this area has a bit of a reference to the Range Rover model, especially with the double storage space. You get one right here. Great. And then another glove box, which is quite huge. Good practicality solutions. That's what I like. And then steering wheel that's adjustable. Just the only thing I'd like to point out is that the steering wheel is huge. The steering wheel is huge. There is something about the previous generation Land Rover Discovery I loved, and that is the fact that everything was squarish, and this whole area right here was vertical. It had a very squarish design to it. But now, for this Land Rover Discovery 5, they've gone all round-edged over here. It's diagonal, and this has given it a more Jaguar vibe, and it's of selective taste. That's all I can say. Two cup holders. Well, the front one doesn't really have any doesn't have anything to hold on to, but this one is adjustable. Fair enough. And then you get this nice shutter right here to cover the cup holders. Another thing to remark is that for the Discovery, it seems like Land Rover has already gone down the path of simplicity, but that shouldn't be any surprise, because the aim for simplicity started since the release of the Range Rover Velar. Now, for the rear side doors, because Land Rover has employed a round edge for the Discovery, you get this edge that sticks out very proudly. So I have to back away each time I open the door, otherwise this hits my chest. But on the bright side, there is ease of entrance. It's very good. And now last but not least, another reason why I think the Land Rover Discovery 5 has kind of lost the plot would be because of its price tag. This particular Land Rover Discovery 5 costs 81,000 euros, but for this price of 81,000 euros, the Land Rover Defender also competes in this spot, and the German competitors also compete in this spot. And then we also have somebody from Sweden who offers more safety, called Volvo XC90 at the moment. Well, we're going to see the Volvo EX90 very soon. But the point over here is, from every direction, this Land Rover Discovery 5 is facing immense pressure, immense challenge. In every field, there's a competitor that just seems to excel more than this Land Rover Discovery 5. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. I will see you all next time.